Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing really well. In this particular session, which is risk and uncertainty, we'll be having more of theoretical concepts which we'll be discussing in this particular chapter. So let's just get started with it right away. So now, what is a risk in business? Okay, risk are nothing but what are the possible, probable outcomes of the business out of that probability. Will things happen as per the plan or not? Will things happen as per the plan or not? Like, suppose you can see risk management is important in a business. There are times like you plan for something and that does not happen. And suppose you plan that, okay, let's plan for 10,000 units of sale in this particular month. Okay, you plan for 10,000 units, that I want to sell these many units. Does that happen? If yes, well and good. But the question is, what is the risk of not happening? If this does not happen, what would be the risk? That's a bigger question. Suppose you have a cost, suppose you have a budget of a cost of $10,000, you cannot expend more than it. What would be the risk if suppose you are not going to receive sales? When you're not going to receive sales, then this $10,000, what is the risk of this? What will happen with it? Matters a lot. And then again comes uncertainty. Now, risk and uncertainty, based on risk and uncertainty, there is one whole industry which works, and that's called insurance. The risk that something may happen. Okay, there's uncertainty of things may happen, and if out of that uncertainty, if things happen, then the cost of it is more. And if suppose that answer in that uncertainty you are having an insurance, and then things go haywire, what happens then? Then you would be able to get that possible probable outcome, good outcome out of it. Okay, so now let's just move forward. We've talked about risk and uncertainty, the role of market research techniques. Now, market research is an important means. Now this is something which uh you know this is some work which is not being focused on and not being done by CMAs and management accountants, but actually this is one work which gives them a lot of knowledge and a lot of exposure upfront. If you just look into this, market research is an important means of assessing and reducing uncertainty. For example, about likely responses of customers to new products. Suppose I am starting a new product itself. Okay, I'm starting a new product. Now if I'm starting a new product, what would be the response of the customers? What would be the response of the customers? This is one big question which I'll have. Now how will I get it? I cannot just go and ask random friends and say me what's your gut feeling, can I get started with the product, will what would be the response of it? Some random Tom, Dick, and Harry will say that he'll have all answers, he'll be a jack of all trade, he'll say that okay, you can go ahead this area, you can launch this particular product, it will be profitable. But the thing is, gone are those days when people used to start things on that particular thing. You would be creating some research techniques, you'll be creating a focus group on which you would be experimenting your questions, that whether they are going to buy your product or not. There'll be some desk research which nothing but they sit back and do the googling and stuff. Field research, people going down towards the ground level trying to get information from the bottom level so that they get to know that how things are working out there. Okay, now focus groups are nothing but you take a small group of people, and then out of that small group of people you ask them questions and stuff, and then they give you answers. Now based on that answers you create your own report out of it, whether you want to do it or not. But the problems is nothing but their results are qualitative and you will not get actual numbers. Like suppose if you say that, will you buy my product, they'll say that, yes, we may buy your product. Now how many units are they going to buy? Are they giving you an order to buy or not? That's a bigger question. Because until unless they give an order and this confirm and give a commitment that this is the number of orders which I'm going to give, that's uncertain, completely uncertain. Desk research is something like, you sit back on your computer, on your system, and then do some research that what all things are happening. Like suppose you just go on Google and then type about a term and see that that term how many times it's been used. I have already shown you Google Trends and Answer the Public. These are few websites through which you get to know that what term is searched and how much time it is searched. So that's with that. Then factors to consider when using desk research. See, the internet is wide open. The data which you get, you need to interpret from it. Now interpreting that data takes a lot of time and a lot of knowledge which you need to have. With that only you can say that, okay, yes, we can go ahead with it. Like suppose you are sitting on your desk, you get all the financial statements of few organizations. Now out of that organization, which organization, which is the client has to invest. Now that's the client which is coming with a query to you that which organization should I invest. So you should have a possible, outcome that, okay, so and so place you need to invest, and then you need to go forward. Okay. Then market intelligence, understanding the market, internal company data, understanding that how and where to invest so that you will be more profitable in it. All right. Field research is more of going towards the ground level of the business and trying to get more data relevant towards it. Okay. Now moving forward in here, motivational research techniques. Some of the more common techniques in motivational research is nothing but depth interviewing, group interviewing, word association testing, trial and error testing, understanding that what is there. It's more of psychology. You are running over through psychology of understanding your customers, that will they be able to accept the new project which you're coming up with, accept the new product which you're going to launch. Will they be more trustworthy to you or not on their based of research, because you're going to invest a huge amount in it. Okay. Now measurement research, sample surveys, etc. This is how you would be researching on whether this particular product shall I go ahead with it or not. Then sampling methods. Now sampling, I hope that you've done it in management accounting previously, where we had done random sampling, quota sampling, paneling, surveying by post, observation. Based on that you come up with, okay, this is what we have to do. Then you see other methods of dealing with risk and uncertainty. In addition to the research technique discussed, the following methods can be used to address risk on, like sensitivity analysis, simulation, expected values, mini, maxi, max, regret, decision trees. Now, one by one, we'll keep on seeing into it. Now, sensitivity analysis, like, suppose you have a data set. Okay. Suppose you have a data set already available with you that, okay, so and so sales is there, so and so purchases are there already. The other question which arises is, suppose one particular like variable cost or fixed cost or something is changing. Okay. Suppose this is changing, what would be the impact of this particular thing on the complete sales of the organization? That's the question. What if a variable cost is changing? What if fixed cost is changing? So it is nothing but a what if analysis. What it is? What if analysis. What if this is changing? What if that is changing? That's a big time question. What if this is changing to that, that is changing to this? What would be the impact on business? What would be the impact on business is the question in here. All right. Now, best estimates for variables are made and a decision is arrived at. So this sensitivity analysis is applied more on the Excel sheet. You create an Excel sheet. Based on that Excel sheet you apply some changes, whatever the changes are there in front of you, and then come up with, okay, if this is the percentage of change which is going to happen, then that is going to be the impact which is going to come out. Okay. That's with the sensitivity analysis. Now there's a short illustration for it. A manager is considering a make versus buy decision based on the following estimates. Now, based on the following estimates, he's having this particular variable cost is $10. If buy in and rebatch $2, external purchase cost. If buy in house, there's no external purchase cost. If made in house, there's no external purchase cost. But here you have it at $6. Ultimate selling price is 15 and 14. You are required to assess the sensitivity of the decision to the external purchase price. Now if suppose external purchase price अगर ये चेंज हो रहा है तो सेंसिटिविटी कितनी है, मतलब at up till what percentage of change there is no problem. Okay, now comparing what is the original decision, comparing the contribution figures, the product should be bought in and rebadged. Contribution, if suppose you're making it in house, it is $5. If you're buying it and rebadging it, it is $6. Calculate the sensitivity to the external process. For indifference, the contribution from outstanding source to fall to $5 per unit, मतलब कि ये फॉल कितना पे जा सकता है, फॉल होके $1 डिक्रीज. So how much is that percentage? Thus the external purchase price only needs to increase by $1 per unit or 1 by 6, which is nothing but 17%. अगर external purchase price 17% से बढ़ा या नहीं तो $1 बढ़ा, then you are going to reject it and then you are going to take an alternative method. Are you understanding my point in here? You will be taking an alternative method. Okay. Now, strengths of sensitivity analysis. There is no complicated theory to understand. Information will be present. Only thing what you have to do is nothing but out of that information थोड़ा थोड़ा changes करते जाओ. और वो changes का impact कहाँ हो रहा है, sales पे हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है, that is what you will be looking out for. Now, weaknesses of sensitivity analysis assume that changes to variables, it changes the complete scenario, but sometimes it may not change, right? Sometimes the factors will be fixed. So when the factors are going to be fixed, how are the changes going to be impacted on the sensitivity analysis? Not known about it. Now coming up towards a simulation. A simulation is a modeling technique that shows the effect of more than one variable changing at the same time. Now this is a simulation which you guys need to understand. A Monte Carlo simulation which is used in capital investment appraisal. मतलब कि अगर ये नहीं तो ये बहुत ज़्यादा टेक्निक्स आते हैं यहाँ पे. For example, changes in material prices, labor rates, market size, selling price, investment cost, or inflation. The model identifies key variables in a decision, cost and revenues. Say random numbers are then assigned to each variable in a proportion in accordance with the underlying probability distribution. For example, if the most likely outcomes are thought to have a 50% probability, optimistic outcomes a 30% probability, and the pessimistic outcome is 20%. Optimistic outcome is nothing but वो लोग जो बहुत ज़्यादा सोचते हैं कि yes we are going to get a huge return out of it, लेकिन pessimist वो रहते हैं कि जो थोड़ा कम सोचते हैं, your expectation is a bit less. Random numbers representing those attributes can be assigned to cost and revenues in those proportions. A powerful computer is then used to repeat the decision many times, and then you will be coming up with a simulation, which is you can just read this many times and give management a view of likely range and level of outcomes. Depending on the management's attitude to risk, a more informed decision can be taken. This helps to model what is essential a one-off decision using many possible repetitions. It is only of any real value. However, if the underlying probability distribution can be estimated with some degree of confidence. Now, there is another illustration for it. जैसे कि ये देखो, in a Monte Carlo simulation, these revenues and costs could have random numbers assigned to them. नहीं, सवाल नहीं था वो. The MP organization is an independent film production company. It has a number of potential films that it is considering producing, one of which is the subject of management meeting next week. The film has been code CA-45, is a thriller based on a novel by a well-respected author. The expected revenue from the film have been estimated as follows. There is a 30% chance it may generate total sales of $254,000 and 50% chance that it may reach to $318,000 and a 20% chance that it may reach to $382,000. The expected cost, advertisement, promotion, marketing have also been estimated. There is a 20% chance they will reach an approximately 248,000, 60% chance to 260,000 and 20% chance to 270,000. तो उसको क्या करते हैं हम लोग, उसका परसेंटेज करके उसका टोटल कर लेते हैं और उसका भी परसेंटेज करके उसका टोटल करते हैं. So now you can just see in here सेल्स रेवेन्यू 254,000, कितने परसेंट चांस है? 30%। 318,000, 50% चांस, 20% चांस। ओके, रैंडम नंबर्स अज्यूम एज इंटीजर्स, असाइन रैंडम नंबर्स 0 30 32 79 82 98, वो परसेंटेज के बेसिस पे कर रहे हैं हम लोग। देन अगेन कॉस्ट का भी, उसके भी जो है रैंडम नंबर्स में डाल दिया उसको। A computer could generate a 20-digit random number such as 98, वो क्या कर रहे हैं वो लोग, एक रैंडम नंबर बना रहे हैं। These would then be matched to the random numbers assigned to the each probability and the values assigned to sales revenues and cost based on this. The random numbers generated give 5 possible outcomes in our example. Possible outcome क्या है? सेल्स रेवेन्यू 382 हो, आपका कॉस्ट 248 हो, और आपका प्रॉफिट 134 हो। अगर सेल्स रेवेन्यू इतनी हो गई तो फिर आपका कॉस्ट इतना होगा। सो हियर दे आर मैचिंग it based on a Monte Carlo technique. That's a formula which they put in. They come up with some random, that this can be possible, that can be possible. Possibility के ऊपर आते हैं. The illustration below is only here to the simulation a business is choosing. So that's what is the end in here for that particular simulation of a Monte Carlo MP organization. कि ये possibility है. When you put it in your main examination, there are no chances that you may get a question like this directly, but just be having a proper understanding कि ऐसा भी होता है. Now simulation, this illustration below is only here to show us a simulation project B. What projects should the business invest in? अब ये देखो, number of times profit occurs, that is frequency. अब आप देखो कि दिस इज मीन, स्लोली आप इंक्रीज होके भी डिक्रीज हो रहे हैं, या फिर अभी आप शुरू कर रहे हैं दिस ह्यूज प्रॉफिट एंड देन यू गो डाउन. व्हाट शुड वी डू? Now project B has a higher average, but it is more risky. Variability of possible profits, मतलब risky project है करना है या नहीं. However, if business would prefer to minimize its exposure to risk, it would take on project A. This has a lower risk but also a lower average return. अब यहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हैं, उसका रिस्क और रिटर्न के ऊपर बात करके शेल वी टेक इट और नॉट, आपके पूरे मतलब पूरे पॉसिबिलिटीज के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. Now there are major drawbacks of simulation. This is not a technique for making a decision, only for obtaining more information about possible outcomes, more comments about possible outcomes. Models can become extremely complex. आप उतने ज़्यादा डिटेल्स बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन वो डिटेल्स से कोई एक आउटकम निकालना मुश्किल हो जाता. लाइक देखो, probability distributions may be difficult to formulate. The time and cost involved in their construction can be more than is gained from the improved decisions. Okay, now there's another simulation in a chain of betting shops. What is the probability of happening, winning? ये बहुत बड़ा कंसिडरेशन आता है इसके अंदर. फिर है सबसे easiest टॉपिक परफॉर्मेंस मैनेजमेंट की, वो है एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यूज. एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यूज क्या करते हैं? is nothing but they take a particular data and then they just multiply that particular data with the probabilities. वो probabilities को multiply करो, match करो, come up with the expected value, total कर लो उसका. That's it, it's done. You guys there with me? सबसे easiest देखो, unit sold, probability, this is what is a payoff. मतलब रेवेन्यू पर यूनिट कितना हो सकता है, क्या है, तो यूनिट सोल्ड रेवेन्यू वी ऑलरेडी हैव इट. नाउ ये रेवेन्यू की प्रोबेबिलिटी कितनी है? 15% इसकी है, 50% इसकी है, 35% इसकी है. जस्ट मल्टीप्लाइड, एड इट एंड यू गेट योर एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू. नथिंग चेंजेस इन. अब ये एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू असल में पहले आना चाहिए था, सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस बाद में आना चाहिए था. अब जैसे ये देखो, एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू आप लोग ऐसा मालूम करें, सपोज आप सेंसिटिविटी एनालिसिस लगा के ये बोल रहे हो कि दिस पर्टिकुलर परसेंटेजेस ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी, दिस पर्टिकुलर परसेंटेज ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटी इज चेंजिंग, मतलब इंक्रीज हो रहा है या डिक्रीज हो रहा है, then what would be the impact on the expected value? This can be a better question here. I guess understanding this. Okay, now moving forward in here, advantages, disadvantages तो आप पढ़ सकते हैं इसके अंदर. पे ऑफ टेबल्स भी इज द सेम थिंग, यहाँ पे बस आपको मल्टीप्लाई करके आंसर लेके आना है। अब जैसे कोई एक पर्टिकुलर देखेंगे, ऑन 25 days of the year 40 salads are made, on 50 days of the year 50 salads are made, on 100 days of the year 60 salads are made, 75 days 70 salads. The kitchen must prepare salad in batches of 10 meals. Its staff has asked you to help them decide how many salads it should supply for each day for the forthcoming year. अब इसके बेसिस पे हम लोग वो कर देंगे, like GR runs a kitchen that provides food for various canteens throughout a large organization. A particular salad is sold to the canteen for $10 and cost $8 to prepare. Therefore, the contribution is $2. Based upon the past demand, it is expected during the 250 days, these many salads are made. Ab kitchen must prepare the salad in batches of 10. Its staff has asked you to help them decide how many salads it should supply for each day for the forthcoming year. अब वी कैन प्लान आउट कि ओके इतने बैचेस में आप सलाड्स प्रोवाइड करो, लेकिन 10 का बैच होना चाहिए हमेशा. वी नीड टू कम अप विद अ प्रोबेबल आंसर टू देम. जैसे कि ये देखो, ये 10% हो गया, नेक्स्ट 20% हो गया, नेक्स्ट क्या करे वो लोग, ये ना 25/250 करे 10%. जैसे कि 40 salads 10%, you've created an amount in there and then you put it down in here. Like suppose 40 salads probability is 10%, 50%, 60%, मतलब 20%, 40%, 30%. अब यहाँ पे आप जो है डुअल कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पे यू आर नॉट डूइंग जस्ट वन साइडेड. सपोज आप डिमांड आपका 40 है और सप्लाई आपकी 40 है, तो मैच हो रहा है ये. ओके, सपोज आप क्या डिमांड 50 है और आप सप्लाई 80 कर रहे हैं, 40 ही कर रहे हैं, तो it is remaining the same. But as you can see here, what is the best outcome which can come in here? Is this is that no, sorry, ये है. If suppose 70 are in demand and 70 are supplied, ये देख लो, these are going in this diagonal format, increases format में है ये, और ये decreases format में है. Now the point here is, what is the point at which you are getting a good amount? आप कौन सा सजेस्ट करेंगे? तो सजेस्ट यही करेंगे कि 60 सलाड्स ले लो, अगर 40 भी सलाड्स का डिमांड अगर हुआ तो आपका लॉस इतना होगा. या फिर ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि ओके आप 50 सप्लाई कर लो, आपको $100 तो बनेंगे ही बनेंगे. तो दिस इज योर डिसीजन विच यू कैन टेल देम टू टेक इट अप. ओके, now we have maximax. The maximax rules involves selecting the alternative that maximizes the maximum pay. मतलब कि ये इसी डेटा के ऊपर मैक्सीमैक्स क्या है यहाँ पे, मैक्सिमम सप्लाई मैक्सिमम डिमांड 140. मैक्सीमिन मतलब मैक्सिमम सप्लाई मिनिमम डिमांड, मैक्सिमम सप्लाई मिनिमम डिमांड कितना हो गया यहाँ पे, लॉस हो गया यहाँ पे. मिनी मैक्स मिनिमम सप्लाई मैक्सिमम डिमांड काइंड ऑफ दिस $80 तो बना रहे हैं आप. मिनी मैक्स रिग्रेट ये आया था कि आपका रिग्रेट ये हो जाता कि डिमांड बहुत ज़्यादा है लेकिन आप बना रहे हैं कम, तो यू आर मिसिंग आउट ऑन लॉट ऑफ सेल्स. दैट्स व्हाट दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. यही सेम एग्जांपल पे वो लोग आगे बढ़ते देखो. जैसे कि ये मैक्स रूल है, तो ये मैक्स रूल हिसाब से यहाँ पे क्या लगेगा, 140 पे. अप्लाइंग मैक्स हियर एज आई जस्ट सेड यू, मैक्सिमम सप्लाई मैक्सिमम डिमांड. अब यहाँ पे ये चेक करेंगे कि मैक्सिमिन क्या है. अब मैक्सिमिन इन आर इलस्ट्रेशन, मैक्सिमिन हमारे इलस्ट्रेशन में हाउ मेनी सलाड्स वुड वी डू यूजिंग द मैक्सिमिन is nothing but if we decide 40 salad, the minimum payoff is 80. So that's what they are deciding is 50 0 88. तो मैक्सिमम कितना आ सकता है हम लोग को यहाँ पे इस $80 with a minimum payoff arises from supplying. The highest minimum payoff arises with this 40. ये कब हो गया, ये मैक्सिमिन हुआ. अब मिनी मैक्स के ऊपर जाएंगे हम. मिनी मैक्स देखो यहाँ पे, how many salads should Joffrey decide to supply if the minimax regret rule is applied? If the minimax regret rule is applied to decide how many salads should be made each day, Joffrey needs to calculate the regrets. This means Geoffrey needs to find the biggest payoff for each demand row, then subtract them all the numbers in the row from the largest number. For example, if the demand is 40, Geoffrey will make a maximum profit of $80 if they all sell, and has to decide on 50 sellers they would achieve a nil profit. The difference or regret between nil profit and the maximum profit will be 80 achievable in that row. अब यहाँ पे ये देख लो कि व्हाट इज द मैक्सिमम, व्हाट इज द मिनिमम. ओके, जैसे कि 80 में से आप निकालते जा रहे हैं वो, and you get how much your maximum regret which you can have is $60. यहाँ पे कितने का रिग्रेट, ये देखो, दिस वन, ये मैक्सिमम वैल्यूज थे ना यहाँ के, इसको जीरो कर दिया हम. $80, 160, 240. So that's what will be the biggest problem, maximum regret which you can have. अब उसके हिसाब से हम चूज कौन सा करेंगे. If the minimax regret rule is applied to decide how many salads should be made each day, we need to calculate the regrets. This means we need to find the biggest payoff for each demand row, then subtract all other numbers in this row from the largest number. For example, if the demand is 40 salads, we will make a maximum profit of $80 if they all sell. If we had decided to supply 50 salads, we would achieve a nil profit. The difference, a regret between the nil and the profit and the maximum is 80 achievable for that row is $80. तो यहाँ पे फिर जो है सो वो सेम आंसर आपको नहीं दिया, बस यहाँ पे आप मैक्सिमम रिग्रेट्स क्या है ये मालूम कर लेते हैं आप. ओके, मैक्सिमम रिग्रेट्स वाज 126, 240 का लॉस हो जाता, 160 का लॉस हो जाता. यहाँ पे कितना 160 जाने वाला था ना, 50 सलाड्स, 50 सेल्स यू डू, देयर इज अ मैक्सिमम लॉस ऑफ 80, यहाँ पे 60 का. Now coming up towards decision trees. Now decision trees is more of, you make up a tree that okay, this is the possibility, this is the possibility, इसकी possibility, ये possibility के अंदर और क्या है, ये possibility के अंदर और क्या है. It's more of like a pyramid which you make. Step 1, draw the tree from left to right, showing appropriate decisions and events of outcomes. Evaluate the tree from right to left, carrying out these two actions. Calculate the expected value EV. Recommend the course of action to management. As you can see here, कहाँ है decision tree, main decision tree किधर है, यहाँ देखो. This is how you make it. Suppose this is how you're going ahead. This is a decision to be taken. Suppose you advertise, then what is going to happen? Suppose you don't advertise, then what's going to happen? If you advertise, the poor people will be there, the good people will be there. Good people will give us an increase. Poor people will not give us an increase, no increase. If suppose there is no increase, it's going to be 35%. If suppose there is going to be an increase, it's going to be 65%. And then again, you see in here that what's going to be the impact, how's going to be the impact, what's going to be the impact at last. अब यहाँ पे ये इम्पैक्ट्स को देखो. ओके, ये इम्पैक्ट्स को देख के इसका एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू प्रोबेबिलिटी के साथ एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू मल्टीप्लाई करके एक आंसर लेके आओ, और इसका भी देखो एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू के इसके आंसर्स. अब इन दोनों में कंपेयर करो कि विच वन शुड बी टेकन फॉर द बेटर वन. अब यहाँ पे इस एग्जाम्पल पे देखने से तो ये समझ आ रहा है कि हमको एडवर्टाइजमेंट कर लेना चाहिए. That's just because we are seeing all these amounts in here. Based on that, we can take the advertisement. Okay. Now, step 1, they are doing the same thing. देखिए कि जैसे कि ये final outcome मालूम करो, फिर जैसे उसका probability मालूम करो. At the end, choose the best option of each point. Recommend the cost of at the first the point of three. We should choose the option as to advertise. It is $82,000. So it's again a concept which is getting extended from management accounting. You guys there with me? If yes, then put it down in the chat section. Yes. Now I guess we are not that much with मतलब कि अभी हम लोग the value of perfect information. वैल्यू ऑफ परफेक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है आप लोग के लिए. अभी तक जो करे थे हम लोग, दैट वाज मोर ऑफ रिस्क एंड अनसर्टेनिटी व्हिच वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट. एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू मालूम कर रहे थे. अब परफेक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन क्या है? सपोज आपके पास एक इम्परफेक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन है कि how many units should I manufacture today, how many units should I manufacture make today. अब वो डिपेंड करता, अब अगर सपोज आप एक होटल इंडस्ट्री है, आप जो है बना रहे हैं खाना, मीन्स यू आर मेकिंग फूड, सपोज यू डोंट नो व्हाट द डिमांड इज गोइंग टू बी देयर, सो यू एज पर अ नॉर्मल आउटकम you prepare 100 units, मतलब 100 units of food you are ready to prepare for it, you are making your day for that. Suppose in a day you are going to get to know that there is going to be a demand for 200 units. Now 200 units का अगर demand हो भी रहा है, but you are having all the inputs of 100 units. So can you make the 200 units? No, you cannot make those 200 units. So what happens is, suppose one day you receive that information, that today the sale is going to be 200 units, better make 200 units as an input ready. अब यहाँ पे क्या होता, the person who is providing you that information, are you ready to pay for that information? Are you ready to pay for that perfect information? Because if you are ready to pay for that perfect information, how much amount are you ready to pay? वो कितना होगा? How much loss you would have got? How much loss you would have got if you have no information? वो लॉस का जो अमाउंट है, आप उतना आप देने के लिए तैयार है फॉर द परफेक्ट इंफॉर्मेशन. Expected profit with the information less the expected profit without the information, you are ready, that much value you can give. But आप जैसे थोड़ा डिसाइड कर लेते हैं कि कितना देना है आपको. The value of perfect information, how much is the new system worth to Ramsey? A new ordering system is being considered whereby customers must order their salad online at the day before. With the new system, Mr. R will know how certain the daily demand 24 hours in advance. He can adjust production levels on a daily cash basis. 100% it's effective for him, right? It's a theoretical answer here. I hope you guys have understood what I tried to explain you with the perfect and imperfect information. It's okay. This again, $10,000. If you go ahead with it, no drill, then there's no cost for it, but there's no improvement also for it. That's what it is with the expected and perfect information. यहाँ पे ये चैप्टर खत्म हो रहा है, लेकिन it's more of, we have covered everything in this chapter. It's more of extension from the management accounting concepts, but still I would request you to go through all the concepts again, watch this recording again, and if suppose you find out something that, okay sir, we are not able to understand this particular thing, then you can reach out to me again, and then we'll sit back and do that the problem once again. Is that clear?